Today in this 2018 Honda Ridgeline, we'll be having a look at and showing you how to install the pop and lock powered custom tailgate lock, part number PAL8600. Here's what our electric tailgate lock looks like installed. To give you an idea how it operates, we've left our panels off so you can get a better look at it. With the panels in place, your truck looks completely factory because it still does utilize the same factory handle. The mechanism is all on the inside. Also, one nice feature about this is that it won't hinder your factory backup camera because the backup camera is built in to the tailgate handle. That's one thing many of our customers have asked about this product. One of the main reasons you're going to want this is because this will help reduce tailgate theft and tampering. Also, when you combine this with a tonneau cover, whether it's a soft one or a hard one, with a locking tailgate, you can now have more secure storage in the bed of your truck and not have to worry about items being missing if you're away from your vehicle. One great thing about this setup, and what sets it apart from others, is that it's electric. Some locking tailgates out there require you to replace the handle assembly and have a separate key from what your vehicle would use. And that's great because we don't have to worry about adding an additional key to our keychain. You can see that using the remote, it operates just like normal with your door locks. This will still work with your switch inside the vehicle as well, so when you manually want to lock the doors from inside and not use the key fob, you can still do that too. The way this operates, this is our rod mechanism from our tailgate handle, and this is what operates our latches. Within the lock position, you can see this tab here stops the movement of this rod, so you can't actually open the latches. It's the same way for your swing away latch right here. In the lock position, this cable cannot pull this lever here, it's stopped by this lever. When we unlock it, you can see how it moves away. We can actually move the lever all the way now. Same over here. We now have full range of movement, which opens the latches on our tailgate and allowing it to open. With it locked, we don't have that range of movement that we need to open the latches to open the tailgate. And this is how it locks it in place. With everything put back together, we get a good idea how the locking tailgate works now. We'll go ahead and close it. We'll lock our vehicle. And with it locked, we can't open our tailgate. When we unlock it, we can open it the standard direction, and we can open it where it pivots off to the driver's side. Now that we've gone over some features of our electric tailgate lock, we'll show you how to get it installed. To begin our install, we'll lower our tailgate. Now we need to remove our back cover here. In order to do that, we'll have 4 Phillips screws that run across the top edge of it and 4 T30 Torx screws that run across the bottom edge of it. Now we need to remove the top section of our tailgate. In order to do this, we'll take our rubber mallet and we'll knock it towards the passenger side of the vehicle. Then we can pull back on it and it'll come off. The cover removed, we now have access to 3 more T30 Torx screws that go across the back edge of the tailgate now. So we'll remove all 3 of these screws. Now we can simply lift up on our cover and we'll set it aside. Okay, now we're having a look at our factory latch mechanism assembly right here. These 2 10mm bolts that hold this to the tailgate itself, right at the very top of it, we need to remove these 2 bolts. Now we'll take our new lock assembly and we'll slide this in place. The 2 holes here will line up with the screw holes for the bolts that were removed. We'll slide this section underneath this upper arm right here. And we'll drop it into place just like that. and we'll reinstall the 2 screws that we removed. Now we need to mount our actuator. In order to do that, we need to remove this lower 10mm bolt that's closest to the driver's side from our mechanism. We'll take our actuator, we'll slide this lock rod under right there. We'll line up this hole with that hole, make sure these tabs go over the brace, and we'll reinstall the bolt. Now we'll take this piece here. There's a square hole right here. We'll attach this to the lock mechanism that we added. We'll just line it up and twist it. Okay, so the slot here will line up with this tab, and then this pin will go into this hole on the actuator. The easiest way I found to do this is to get the pin in the hole first, pull towards the end of the tailgate, and then it'll go in the slot, like that. Now we're going to test our locking mechanism for both positions that our tailgate opens. Right now we have it in the standard folded down position, but it also does swing open towards the driver's side of the truck. We have our actuator in the unlocked position right now, and that's with it extended. With it retracted, this is the locked position. So we'll make sure it's unlocked, and we'll close our tailgate now. Now we'll lock it, and we'll test to make sure it doesn't open. With it in the locked position, it doesn't open, and it also doesn't open in the swing position. Now we'll unlock it and test both operations. So it opens normally, that's good, and it'll also open to the swing position. So we know both functions are working properly. Now we'll take our short wiring harness, this connector end here, we'll drop down following the factory wiring on the driver's side. Now we'll connect the other end of our harness to our actuator using the bullet connectors. The green wire will go to the green wire. We simply just push these in place, and the blue wire will go to the blue wire. Now these are fairly secure just by plugging them in, but I'm also going to crimp them just to make sure they are locked into place. We went ahead and secured our wiring up to the factory wiring harness for the backup camera, making sure we took out the slack so it wouldn't interfere with our rods. And we just followed that down and out behind the tailgate. As you can see, our wire comes down just below our bumper right now. Now on the plug-in, we'll take our long wiring harness and we'll match the 2 plugs together and connect them. We went ahead and routed our wire to the front of the vehicle, making sure we avoided any moving parts and sources of heat. So we just have it going over our rear subframe here, have it secured to this factory wiring harness with a couple of zip ties. It goes through a channel here. We just follow the wire through there, and here's where the wire comes down on the other side of our gas tank. We routed it down to our parking brake cable here. This outer sleeve on the parking brake cable doesn't move, so you're safe to zip tie to that. And we continue following this forward. We go underneath this plastic shield here, where it comes out right here. We drop down a pull wire from our engine compartment, and we attach the end of the wire to that. Now we can bring that up into our engine bay. Now we need to remove our kick panel here. In order to do that, we need to remove this door sill right here. This you just pull up on, and it will release. Now we'll grab our kick panel and pull it away from the vehicle. Okay, with it pulled away from the backside, we can now pull it down and away from the dash. Okay, with our kick panel removed, we now have access to our grommet on the firewall where our factory wiring harness goes through. This grommet is very easy to poke a hole through to bring our wires inside. We went ahead and put our pull wire through there. Okay, here's where our pull wire comes out. It comes out in kind of an odd spot. It comes out right behind our fender, but we already went ahead and attached our wires to that, and now we can pull this inside the passenger compartment. Now we're looking at where our wiring harness plugs into our fuse box. There's two wires that we need to locate. They're both going to be on the bottom row of the terminals, and the second one over from the right is a red wire. I'm using a back probe, but you can also use a paper clip for this or a bobby pin or something like that. And we're going to test with a test light, make sure this is the right wire. So when I press the lock button, our test light illuminates. So this red wire is one of the ones that we need to use. Also on the bottom row, there's a yellow wire. It's over to the left. This is the only yellow wire on the bottom row. And when I say bottom row, I mean it's the side that's closest to the firewall. When I press the unlock button, the test light illuminates. So these are the two wires we need to make our connections with. We've gone ahead and separated our red wire from the rest, and now we'll cut it. So now we have two separate ends. Then we'll strip off the insulation from both ends. Now we'll take our wiring harness here, and we'll strip off some insulation from both of our wires. So we'll twist our red wire, one end, together with the green wire, and we'll use a blue heat shrink butt connector. This is for 14 to 16 gauge wire. We have these available on our website. The reason we use the heat shrink butt connectors is because they will provide a superior electrical connection. Place that over the end, and we'll crimp that down. Okay, we've gone ahead and crimped the other end of our red wire in place into our butt connection. Now we need to locate the yellow wire and separate it from that bottom terminal, and it'll be this yellow wire right here. So we'll go ahead and cut that wire in the middle, and we'll strip back the insulation from both ends. We've gone ahead and repeated the same process of combining our wires together. The yellow wire still goes to the yellow wire, and we have our blue wire tied in with one of the ends of the yellow wire, and it's crimped together. Our red wire goes to the red wire with the green wire tied into one end of the red wire and crimped together. And now we use a heat gun, which we have available on our website, to shrink down our butt connectors. You wouldn't want to use a lighter in this position because you could damage the wiring, and also the butt connectors will melt if they are exposed to direct flame. And here's what it looks like with the butt connectors shrunk down. With our connections made, we'll operate our power lock switch and make sure everything works properly. Okay, it locks, and it unlocks. Okay, with everything tidied up and we verified that it works properly, we can now reinstall our panels. Okay, now that we have all the interior panels reinstalled, we can put our tailgate back together now. And that completes our look at and install of the Pop and Lock Custom Power Tailgate Lock, part number PAL 8600 on this 2018 Honda Ridgeline.
Thanks for watching. Click the link in our description below to shop, learn more, or visit us at Etrailer.com. And leave us a comment if you have any questions.